The
door burst
Promise
open,
Part 10.
and in stepped
Subscribe,
two men.
like, comment, and share.
One was
For
tall,
more
a scar
parts
slicing
coming.
through his eyebrow,
Love
while the other was
story.
shorter, his face obscured by a hood. Maria stumbled back against the wall, her heart racing. She quickly asserted that the girl was gone, that she would find her, her voice trembling with urgency. The tall man's expression remained unchanged as he slammed the door behind him, the sound echoing ominously in the small room. The shorter man moved deliberately, his boots crunching the shards of a broken cup underfoot. The tall man's calm voice cut through the tension, accusing Maria of taking their money and breaking a promise. The weight of his words hung heavy in the air. Hands shaking, Maria raised them in a gesture of explanation, pleading that the girl had run away and that she needed just a little more time to find her. The man's laugh was devoid of warmth, a chilling sound that sent a shiver down her spine. The buyer had already paid, he reminded her, and the time for leniency had expired. Now she had 2 days. The gravity of the ultimatum twisted in her stomach. 2 days? She echoed, disbelief mingling with fear. The man confirmed it, his voice steady. If she failed, she would take the girl's place. Before she could muster another plea, the shorter man struck her across the face, pain radiating through her cheek as she fell. As they turned to leave, the tall man paused, tossing a photograph onto the floor. Lena's face smiled up at her, a haunting reminder of her betrayal. "Find her," he commanded, the weight of the expectation pressing down on Maria. Promises were meant to be kept. With the door slamming shut, silence enveloped the room. Maria sat on the floor, her hand pressed against the bruise forming on her skin, tears falling silently. She whispered to herself that she hadn't intended for this to happen, that she merely wanted to live and repay her debts. Her gaze fell on the photograph, and she murmured for forgiveness, vowing to find Lena before it was too late. Outside, thunder rumbled across the city as rain began to seep through the broken window, the cold drops contrasting with the heat of her turmoil. She sat in the dim light, thoughts consumed by the girl who had once called her friend. That same night, driven by panic and fear, Maria knocked on her neighbor's door. Maria asked about Lena, the girl who had stayed with her. The woman frowned, but eventually nodded, revealing that Lena worked at Lee's Garden restaurant just a few blocks away. Maria's pulse quickened, clarity emerging from the chaos. Now she knew where to go. Returning to Lena and Chris, that night rain poured relentlessly over the city, with lightning illuminating the sky and thunder echoing through the narrow streets. Inside Lena's apartment, the lights flickered once before plunging them into darkness. Lena inhaled sharply in the gloom, calling out softly, "Chris?" "I'm here," he replied, rising from the couch, the dim glow of his phone casting shadows around them. "Power's out. Just stay put." The sudden darkness awakened old fears within her. The storm outside, the flashes, the roars, felt all too familiar, reminiscent of the fire that had once threatened her childhood home. Her breath quickened. Chris sensed the tremor in her voice. "Hey," he said softly, moving closer. He retrieved a small torch from his bag by the door, the gentle beam cutting through the darkness. "See? There's nothing to fear." But Lena remained tense by the table, her hands clasped tightly. "I hate darkness," she murmured. He approached her, taking her hand in his. "You're safe, Lena. It's just rain, nothing more." His voice was low and warm, wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. They moved to the living room, where he set the torch on the coffee table, its light spilling softly between them. They settled onto the couch, their knees almost brushing, the rain continuing its steady rhythm outside. For a long moment, silence enveloped them. The flickering light bathed her skin in a warm glow. Chris studied her intently, feeling something shift within him. Quiet, yet powerful. Their eyes met, and the space between them felt charged. He leaned forward slightly, his breath catching as he fought the urge to close the distance. He wouldn't let her think he was trying to exploit her fear. Yet Lena perceived the restraint in his gaze, the tenderness beneath it, stirring an ache in her chest that was hard to articulate. Her smile mirrored his, shy and hesitant, and her voice quivered as she said, "Don't go back tonight, Chris. The rain, it's too heavy." He paused, feeling a twist of unease at the thought of leaving her alone. "I'll stay until it stops," he assured her. He nodded slowly, watching her rise to change into soft pajamas, her movements slow and weary. When she returned, she handed him an oversized t-shirt. "You can wear this. I don't have any men's clothes here." He smiled, gratitude shining in his eyes. "This will do." He watched the ceiling for a while, listening to the rain, then drifted into a slow, dreamless sleep. By dawn, the rain had stopped. A pale light crept through the curtains, filling the small kitchen with a quiet glow. On the kitchen table sat a simple breakfast, a glass of orange juice, 2 apples, and a ripe banana resting neatly on a folded napkin. Beside it lay a small handwritten note. Lena picked it up, smiling before she even finished reading. "Good morning, beautiful Lena. I hope you slept very well. I didn't want to wake you, so I've already left. I went to the shelter first, then I'll head straight to work. If you need anything, just call or leave me a message. I'll be glad to hear from you. Chris." Her smile deepened, soft and quiet.